Food is great, but without the consciousness of this food and the connection you have with Earth, it doesn't go far.
Yeah.
Like it helps. You know, food is just it maintains your vitality. It helps your skin and all this.
Man, and that's what it's about. We're both fruitarians. We don't eat any animal products. We don't eat meat. We don't eat anything like that. We both have been vegan for 7 years. Or they're like, these people are crazy.
Love me, so and I love you back, and then hopefully when I'm not going to eat you, you're going to be part of my consciousness, and I'm going to love myself even more. You're using everything to make yourself aware of that love. So everything will contribute for that more. So everything will be amplified. Everything that read, love me, so and I love you back, and then hopefully when I'm not going to eat you, you're going to be part of my consciousness, and I'm going to love myself even more. You're using everything to make yourself aware of that love. So everything will contribute for that more. So everything will be amplified.
You that don't love you are going to lie to you, deceive you, do all these things. You're actually lying and deceiving yourself the whole time. So it's when you start loving yourself properly and the way you deserve, you'll attract good people to you. And when you are loving yourself,
when you get to a point in your life where you're tired of your own brain, you're tired of your own patterns, that's when you start living and not surviving. And that's personally my experience. Like, this is how it went for me. I got so tired of this.
Like, whoa, man, that guy's 6'6", 200 pounds. He's a monster kind of thing. I don't need validation through people. I have found an inner fulfilling feeling that I have found myself in a whole new world. It's when I started doing good things for myself and like what we were saying, following our hearts, following our inspirations, even though they seem crazy at times, or doing what fulfills me, even though what fulfills me is risky, or I'm not going to be safe in my little bubble, safe. When I start doing these things, that's when I find myself a happier person, more fulfilled person, and then ultimately go out and the world's a more fulfilling place, a happier place.
Being close to nature too.
Oh man, being close to nature helps so much.
Yeah.
I wonder where Jonas is at right now, climbing all those palm trees. Maybe we should go join him.
We're coming to see you, Jonas.
I could go for a coconut for sure. Crack one or two open.
It's not for that, Jay.
Phoenix. Oh, right on. That's cool. So Jess, what are you doing these days to follow your heart?
Well, right now I'm just going through an intense shift of realizing that it's not about what others are telling me. It's not about what they're doing. My happiness is not in their hands. It's in my hand, and it's in my ability to realize that they make choices on their own. And knowing that I am true to myself assures me love. I don't need someone to see it or not.
Okay.
And I think my happiness is linked to love, because I love love. I love feeling love. I love giving love. But many times the people we're attached to, and they decide not to love you, they decide not to see your value, you feel afraid, and then you try to change them for you to receive love. And now I'm like in this place of, you know what, it's entirely your choice. Love. But many times the people we're attached, I'm swimming a lot in that space, and it's giving me a lot of calmness, and I'm like reminding myself constantly with my connection with spirit. And when I say connection with spirit, I'm like conscious that spirit? Who's spirit?
You're crazy.
Yeah, but this is like, for me, this is my reality. MyRealityOfSpirit.com.
So, helping you feel your heart and follow your heart, spirit has something to do with it.
Yeah, like now I'm really focused on making sure that spirit is my priority. My connection with spirit is my priority, regardless of who I'm talking with. It's like, the example of what we gave earlier, that you're talking with a stranger, suddenly your partner is to be ignored, and your behaviors are different with her and all this. Well, I'm realizing, wait a minute, I might be doing this to spirit at times. I might just disregard spirit, my spirit friends, my angels and all this. I'm like completely putting them on the side, and I'm just focusing on how I can get value and attention from someone.
Whoa, man, that's like validation through people. I have found an inner fulfilling feeling that now I walk around with self-confidence. I don't need anything outside of myself to let me know how I feel. And ultimately,
like we're going to talk about skin. And the real secret to skin is a wonderful product that I found called Follow Your Heart.
that's ultimate skincare right there. And that's what I'm finding. Like, well, I don't want to sound too scientific or things like that, but
Oh, change of course.
my focus when I signed on here, I just wanted to help one person. I just want to have one great conversation that inspires somebody and not get caught up in, oh, we got to say this or say that, or we got to entertain people or things like that. Like there's so much entertainment out there. We don't need, I personally feel we don't need more entertainment. We need more real.
And then they, so that's just honesty too, to just be honest right away in the beginning of the conversation.
Just got to be honest more, Jesse.
Yes.
And that's what this is going to be about. Honesty. Isn't feeling good out there, and you resonate with what we're saying, it can uplift you as well.
Yeah.
So that's all. I just want to sign on and help you, and in turn you help us. Like it's all
We're one.
Yeah, there's all a bunch of oneness here. When you help one, you help everybody. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how we're going to
Teach, like we said in the book, by demonstration. But
Yeah.
do I believe in that belief? Is that my core belief for me to still wanna teach by telling them what I did and what I know and all this? Like, is my core belief really that if I talk with you...
We really want to develop a lot of these conversations with you and go to a new place together. Jonas, capturing moments everywhere. My man. Y'all building moment gold. Jonas, I really appreciate it, man. Thanks for all the support today. Your comments and questions have just been wonderful. Heart, a reason to keep beating, then your heart
keeps generating your cells.
It just keeps going. Cells reproduce every single day.
That is so deep. Oh my God. That is so deep. It moved me.
So having your heart, following your heart, like people's hearts, ultimately, I feel why they stopped beating, I ultimately wasn't fulfilled.
Yeah.
I would upload the video and people like, oh, it's a great video, hundreds of thumbs up, this and that, comments everywhere, but
Yeah.
I wasn't fulfilled at the end of it. So it's like, when I'm signing on, I want to get something out of it, something that fulfills me.
Yeah.
It's not just about entertaining them. I want to go on I want to take a new place.
Yeah, because you were fooling yourself too, so you like to fool people.
And then I would watch these videos and I would forget them a day later.
Yeah.
But if I see something real, a real conversation, something that I can carry with me tomorrow and things like that.
That's why you come back.
Like, yeah, well, that's what I'm seeking for nowadays. Like the shot around the avocado is like the last ingredient. Why don't we just grab an avocado and use it? It works so well.
And it's a lot cheaper.
Also, drinking lots of fresh water keeps the skin hydrated, and just really staying hydrated is key. And all the fresh fruits and vegetables.
But and that's fine. I'm just saying that we want to be able to to allow this community to be an open, complete channel where you're not hesitating to ask.
Be real to myself and have a conversation that people might not enjoy.
Exactly.
Or they're like, these people are crazy. What are you talking about? Which way am I gonna take this?
Because we will tire ourselves. Like we're gonna live stream so many times now.
Oh yeah.
It's like, okay, just keep going. Like nothing will stop us. That's the truth. But it's nice to just meet people that wanna hear more of that and wanna connect and share those things.
Well, people that want to talk about something new. I mean, there's so much entertainment out there. There's so much. You go on Facebook. Don't be afraid to stand out. It's your difference in who you are that will make the difference in life. So be different, stand out, and you will be living a life of bliss and fulfillment in no time, for sure. Jonas, Sunshine, welcome to the stream, man.
Hey, food is great, but without the consciousness of this food and the connection you have with Earth, it doesn't go far.
Yeah.
Like it helps. Food is just it maintains your vitality. It helps your skin and all this.
We strand our DNA. There's things called telomerase that hold your DNA together. It's kind of like a shoelace. So when it unravels, your DNA unravels and you ultimately get older. And there's one thing I have found to keep your DNA together, to keep you young. Like, I just turned 30 years old and I feel WTF, damn, good looking species. Carmelo, what's going on, man? And that's what it's about. We're both fruitarians. We don't eat any animal products. We don't eat meat. We don't eat anything like that. We both have been vegan for 7 years.
Them over what we know, and then that's fine. That's beautiful. But people are not stupid. They feel.
Yeah.
They feel energetically that there is authenticity versus talking about.
I want to go on it. I want to take a new place myself.
Yeah, you want to be able to feel that afterwards.
Yeah.
And not, because then what's going to happen, Jay, we're going to be addicted to them thinking of us good.
Yeah.
So then we'll be wanting to stream to get more of that because there's a gap and it's not real. And I don't want to end up there.
On an adventure, you need money, you got to set up where you're going to stay and this and that. And we were talking with a friend, and he's like, you know, come stay at my place in Boston. We'll go there. We'll check it out. And we ended up going there, thought we'd stay there, and ended up traveling all around North America, just exploring ourselves. But we took the risk, and it was through taking a risk that was just, that's when we got so close, Jess.
Yeah.
That's when it came down. I remember somewhere like when we left Florida, and we drove across to LA, we stopped in Arizona. Then my heart was just like, oh,
Yeah.
remember when I went on that walk?
Yeah.
I went on that walk, and I'm like, oh, like,
You were on the top.
yeah, like we were having problems with our relationship, like like I couldn't handle myself around the things you were saying, were bringing up like emotions inside of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is brutal. Like, oh, I remember going on that walk to the Devil's Bridge.
Yeah.
Walking there, I'm thinking, oh, what am I doing in life? Like, I'm gonna push this person away from me. This person that actually supports me as a person. I don't want this person around me because you challenge me too much.
Yeah.
And I remember it was on that walk where like I committed. I'm like, okay, I like being pushed, even though my mind gets angry because you're like literally going against my mind, but you're talking to my heart. So I remember it was just like, it was on that journey all around the States that got us so close.
Yeah. No, I remember that. Because Sedona, I mean, everyone says Sedona is like a place where you're tested, especially your relationships are tested.
Strong energy there.
So we went there and it was really tested. And when I saw you like going on your own, I'm like, okay, there's something big and beautiful emerging. I knew that deep down that something nice, you know, will come out and we will be able to continue once this is like solved. And then when you asked me to go on top, and then you realize that, I'm like, oh my God, just one walk.
Yeah.
With the right awareness, what it does.
Oh,
you know?
man,
Like, it brings you far.
with the right intention.
Yeah.
So I remember before we went to Arizona, when we were in Florida, I was talking with a friend, like us three, we were grocery shopping or something like that, and I would just start talking with that friend.
Yeah.
And kind of forget about you.
Yeah.
It was like, now I look back at that, I'm like, how could I just not talk with you and just get lost in a conversation with someone else when you're honestly my whole world? It's like, what am I, like, how... Like, I know from us traveling together and taking the risk, that's when we grew so much as a person.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you got it.
No, that's actually, you brought a good point in me again, because many times I feel when there are other people involved, we suddenly don't care about the person you spend most of your time with, and you make all your attention them, because that's where you can get the most value from now, is from them. And I noticed that in so many people. Like, when my parents do, when my friends, like, suddenly if there's a new person, they change behavior with me. They're not the same people.
Like when you're with somebody and they're your best friend, let's say, but then there's new people around. You want to go please those new people.
Yes, and then you have to change.
Yeah, and then you forget about the actual relationship that you have with people.
Well, that's the thing. Authenticity comes from a place of, I'm gonna be the same whoever is in front of me, like that is a new person or another person, like I won't change. And that's why I feel that you have embodied your transparency. You have embodied you're locked in your decision to be real and not anymore depending on how beneficial it is for you to be real. And when it's not beneficial, then you start to be fake, you know?
Yeah. Really growing myself as a person and understanding who I am and how I act around certain people and what, like, where does my focus go? You know, is my mind going to be my focus? Am I just trying to get attention or please people or things like that? Or is my focus going to be on you and things like that?
Yeah.
Live couple, you now love channel. it's a connection, man, and it's through the connection with Jesse that has transformed my life. And it was really the adventure that we went on for the past 5 months. Left Canada with no money, just a backpack. Went from Boston to Florida to LA to Hawaii. Back to LA, back to Florida, back to LA, like driving across the country 3 times. It was ridiculous, and being put in all these uncomfortable spots per se. It's when that's when you realize who people really are as people, and are they just going to put on a face Like, real situations expose people for who they really are, for who they are as a person, who you are as a person. And just like I was saying, when Jesse and I were in Arizona, going on these walks, and I'm like, oh, she's driving me crazy because she's
Because
talking.
I do not stand anything that is not in alignment with the heart.
So for her to be doing that, it was just driving me nuts. And it's like, oh man, what am I gonna do? And then, oh, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna break up with her? Am I gonna do this? Am I in over my head? And understand, like, what do I really want in life? What do I really want to do with myself? And how do I want to approach this new relationship that I'm in right now? So, like I really got down to who I really am as a person, and going through it and realizing my values, what I want out of life, what do I want from this relationship, what do I want from myself. How am I going to get what I want, get what is there for me in this relationship, while letting go of my ego and pride and everything like that at the same time. So, I mean, there's just, it's such a taxing experience on mentally. It's heartwarming, but my mind was challenged so much while being on this trip for 5 months, like leaving with no money, just a backpack, and having trust work out, being put in seemingly tight situations that worked out every single time. Like, I've seen more magic in the past 9 months than I have in my whole life. And that's when I was taking the risks. And that was when I met Jessie, and she gave me the courage to go follow our heart, even though my mind was like, it's not going to work out, you're going to end up homeless, you're going to starve, you're just going to hit every dead end in the road. But next thing you know, we went together, we went with our hearts, then we started meeting the right people at the right time.
We traveled and they paid everything. We did not even ask anything. It was just coming, and then you can see, oh my God, how synchronized things are. Like, it's incredible. Like, the universe just keeps supporting you when you do the right thing. And on my end as well, it's just, I can't stand anything that is not in resonance with the heart. Only because in my life I've been through so much, and I ended up in a really, really bad place where I said, no more mind. You're not the one to lead me anymore. Like, I am not going to negotiate my what my mind wants with what my heart wants. Like, you can't negotiate. It's impossible to try to find a middle ground. You have to make a decision. That's what I understood the hard way in my life. So that's why now every time someone speaks and I spot something, I'm not going to hesitate to say it. And if it bothers them, well, there's your gift. It bothers you because it is time to let it go. And it doesn't mean a judgment or you're a bad person. Quite the opposite. It's because you still didn't meet the pure being that you are. And I'm helping you to let go of what you're holding on that doesn't allow you to see your purity.
And this is what I'm finding through being with Jessie and everything, through expressing yourself. It's when you have to put on an act around people, that's when you're not being yourself. And when you are expressing yourself, expressing your emotions, someone does something that doesn't something that you don't feel, that isn't resonating with you, you call them on it instead of staying quiet. Oh, Brad's just being Brad over there. When you really start expressing yourself and you're not hiding who you really are, how you really feel, that's when that's like the way of weeding people out of your life, and you're gonna find yourself surrounded by the people that you can be yourself with, and that are actually authentic with themselves and with you as well. So it's through
raw energy.
And I never had the strength to do this before. I never had the courage to really call it like I see it. Really, just allow myself to be myself and say what is gonna like piss people off at times, what's gonna make them angry, not going with the flow of other people's rhythm, going with my own rhythm. And that has really, surrounded me with the right people at the right time. And that's how we were supported so well on this journey that we were on. Everything just kept working out constantly, and it was because I was real to myself. I was authentic, connecting with real people, and that's when real people wanted to like help us and support us and buy us plane tickets, buy us food, give us a place to stay, and things like that. Everything just kept working out constantly. Like, this trip was so life-changing, and I've seen more support and magic than I have in the past 9 months than I have in my whole life.
That any of us that work so hard to pay our bills, to eat the right food, or whatever we do, we have been supported on that trip with $0, better than we could have done by ourselves while working. It's incredible. Like, this reality saying that you have to work hard to pay your bills is so off. Like, everything that we know about life that is negative, the opposite is more true than this reality. Like everything that our parents said, everything that our people said, everything the media said, all of that, one day, and not too far from now, we will understand that all of it is the flip side. The reality is exactly the opposite. Life is meant to be good and happy. Life is you're meant to be blissful every day, all day.
We did not come down to earth to suffer and have pain. We would not plan that for ourselves. We just end up manifesting that for ourselves through attachment and, holding on to things that no longer serve us, altering our personalities, putting on characters for people, and not being our authentic selves.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but to he's making me laugh. So I need you as my new roommate.
Jonas, you know what? We're now roomies for life. We are you now roomies for sure.
Connected.
We're gonna sign on all the time and get these chats going. So don't worry, we are your new roommates for sure.
We are one.
We'll go plant an orchard together. We'll go plant a bunch of banana trees and things like that.
We're going to Costa Rica.
Folks, what's going on? Welcome to the chat. It's nice to see you there. Jonas is blowing up the chat over here. This guy, he has a lot of comments, a lot of questions. Where's my brother? He's back at the lighthouse. He's doing YouTube videos, things like that. He's doing well. Him and Chris are doing their thing. Having a good time out there. Hanging out with the dogs and things like that. More trees to pick than people. Phoenix, a 200-mile wide orchard. Oh man, I could get down with a 200-mile wide orchard.
Yeah.
I just recently switched my diet. I'm now eating a fruitarian lifestyle. I've stopped cooking food. I'm not eating rice, potatoes, or anything like that anymore. It's basically my diet's like bananas at this point. I just get a big box of bananas.
The box is under the table.
I got a 40-pound box literally right here. Like look at these bananas.
Oh my god.
Perfectly,
like super ripe.
perfectly
really
ripe.
good.
Like I got a perfect.
Like for a baby,
like
no teeth.
All I'm eating is bananas right now. Maybe an avocado once in a while, a mango, some grapes and things like that. So everything has really shifted.
Grapes are mine, Jess.
Yeah. So everything is really shifting right now. I'm making a lot of life changes, and it's really I'm so glad that I'm making these changes. They were the changes I was staying away from my whole life, and life was honestly drifting me by back there. I was watching summer, winter. Life just kept on coasting, and I was going to watch my life fade away. And as when I started making the changes, that's when I started making the changes inside. They manifested the changes around me, and they took me on a whole new place.
He says get water if you have bananas, though.
Oh,
Plenty,
man, need the water. Gotta get the water going. Just water, drinking it. It's so good.
Ski. Aww. Sweet. And I wanted to say right now, we're like in a weird spot because we're like, yesterday we were just staying with people over for like 3 months while writing our book. And bam, suddenly everything changed and we had to get out of this house because the cycle was done. Well, I mean, if I'm going to get into the past life and all this stuff like that, it would be too long. But to make the story really short, we had to come out of this place and now we're here, but we have to move out really soon. So we're like in this mystery bubble where we're just, what's next?
It's ups and turns. Everything's just like, we have no idea what's going to happen. And this goes back to, like, this is when I'm feeling fulfilled. I have no idea what's happening in life right now, but I'm going with it. And my focus is on trust. I trust the universe has a plan. I trust, just like I trusted when we left the country with no money, things would work out. And it did constantly. So it's the same thing. I'm carrying this trust, knowing that everything's going to work out. I just need to be myself, express myself, use transparency, stay with Jessie, work on our emotions together, really let go of pride and ego, and then the universe will keep supporting this wild adventure that we've been on for the past 9 months, and it's going to keep going.
Ski says, change is hard. Getting to the point of change is even harder. Oh my god. You said it well. It's literally, right now we're like I said, we're hanging here. We know we have to leave in a couple of days. We don't have much money because that's what we've been living like this for 9 months, and the universe has been just keep giving and giving because we're being right to ourselves. That's the only way it works. And now we're just like, you know what? We feel inspired. Like, I got a vision as well that we have to start live streaming and sharing everything we have learned with everyone. And as well to practice our authenticity and our ability to be able to remain who we are regardless of who's watching, and to just love them either way, that they hate us, they like us, they agree or not, just to practice that unconditional love. So we're doing that now, and if the universe says you live stream, then I take that as my next step to something greater that is coming. So that's what right now we are so far. But yeah, living in this not knowing state, and sometimes you know it's going to be good, is definitely a discipline that you have to practice.
Yeah,
Like,
and
you really have to
but
really
it puts our
tell.
relationship, like, really brings us tighter as people.
Jay, you make me mad.
I don't mean angry, no, but it brings us closer. Like, we have to stick together in these times. There's like, it's not like us versus the world or anything like that, but it's really, it's when we stayed comfortable and knew when everything was gonna happen. You know, that's when you don't see who people really are and things like that. You know who's gonna stick with you, and if times get tough, if they're just gonna run away or things like that. You know, you really see who you are as a person, and really real situations will expose you as a person and really get down to your core values and who you are and how you feel. And I find it's just really been hardening us in our relationship as people, and as people that are going through life and wanting to transform and be together and share it with somebody the whole time.
Yes, and this morning my sister was bringing out a section of the book of Divine Partnership or something like that. I think it's about a twin flame thing, and it says something beautiful, Jane. I didn't share it with you yet. It said, relationship is you relating with someone else.
Yeah.
Partnership is you and that person being one. So there is no more separation, no more relating on some level and others not. So there is no moment of separation, no moment of isolation. It's always about one. But for you to get to that oneness, you have to be one with your heart. So then that is an extension of that oneness in the relationship. But I realized when they said relationship, we all have relationships, and we thought that that was it. That's where it stops. And then I'm like, wow, relationship is just relating on some level with someone else. And that's why you can't be one, because you're not relating on all levels. So then relationship dies, and then sometimes it stays, sometimes it doesn't. But then when you become one unity, like when you agree on everything because you are constantly in tune with your heart, well, guess what? The heart has one truth. You can't disagree on one thing, because you come from the same place. You talk the same truth, expressed differently, sure, but it's just, there's no more agreement or disagreement. It becomes just, hey, I feel what you feel all the time.
No, this is what I'm finding. It's relationships are people you can relate with.